Hello, my name is Rafael Seif, and in this learning unit I'm going to deal with a fundamental part of English grammar, relative clauses. Relative clauses are parts of a sentence where we give information that can be extra or very important to add information to a noun. It can be a person or a thing. We're going to deal with the most important relative pronouns and words. We're going to see the two types of relative clauses, defining and non-defining, and then we're going to see some typical examples of relative clauses. The objectives of this learning unit is to know the relative pronouns and their use with examples, to recognize the two types of relative clauses, defining and non-defining, and also to use relative clauses properly. Relative clauses are very important in writing because they help us connect ideas, concepts, and words. These are the most important relative pronouns: who, which, that, whom, and whose. We are going to have a look at them. The relative pronoun can have different functions in the sentence. It can be the subject or the object of the clause that follows. Here we have one example of each. As a subject, we have the following example. That's the student who or that got the prestigious award. In this case, who or that is the subject of the got the prestigious award clause. They can also be the object. For example, that's the prestigious award which or that he got. So they can be the object or the subject of the relative clause. Relative pronouns and relative clauses help us connect and combine concepts and sentences that otherwise would be separate. So they help us in writing to connect, to make the discourse flow. For example, we have, this is Richard and he owns the whole building. We can link these two parts, saying Richard is the person who owns the whole building. Or as an object, that is Richard's motorbike. I used to own it. That's the motorbike that I used to own. There are two types of relative clauses, defining and non-defining. Defining relative clauses are those that specify exactly which person or thing we're referring to. So they are essential to identify or explain exactly what personal thing we're talking about. For example, the notes that or which you took last week were really helpful. And there's the possibility of leaving out the relative pronoun, but only when it is the object of the relative clause, never when it is the subject. For example, in the first example here, that's the bread that I used to buy. Here we can omit that because it is the object, not the subject. Whereas in the second example, that's the person who bakes the bread, who cannot be omitted or left out because it is the subject of the following clause. Non-defining relative clauses are not strictly necessary to explain or to identify which person or thing we're talking about. They are separated normally by commas or by pauses if we are talking in oral discourse. And by a pause, they are separated by a pause when speaking, when they are not at the end of the sentence. For example, it's my brother who hasn't arrived yet, the one who has our tickets. In this case, the first who is defining relative, non-defining, and the second one is a defining relative clause. In non-defining relative clauses, the pronoun that cannot be used to introduce a non-defining relative clause, never. So in this case we use which. Now we're going to have a look at some other possibilities for linking clauses with, linking ideas with relative clauses. That, whom, whose, when, where, whereby, why, what, who, whatever, whichever, whoever. That is not used after preposition. We have to take this rule into account. This is the house that of which I paid 250,000 euros for. But this is the house for which I paid 250,000 euros. Whom is the object form of who? To be used after prepositions. For example, this is the person who I sold my house to. Or this is the person to whom I sold my house. It is used to speak or write in a more formal style. Whose means of whom, so it has a possession meaning, and is usually used to refer to people. Here we have some examples. This is Mike. His brother won the lottery. We can link these two ideas. This is Mike, whose brother won the lottery. Another example. He's an architect. His designs have won international awards. We can link the ideas as he is an architect whose designs have won international awards. Whose is translated into Spanish as cuyo or cuya. Where, when, and whereby are also used as relative pronouns. In formal English, normally we use a preposition plus which instead, at, in, on, by, etc. Here we have examples. This is the place where mom and dad met. In a formal style, we would say this is the place in or at which mom and dad met. That is the date when you have to submit your papers, or I will show you the system whereby you can save more money. Why is also another alternative for relative clauses, and is normally used after the word reason. In this example we can see it. Everybody failed the exam. That is the reason why I preferred not to do it this semester. In informal English, we can omit the word the reason, and we just simply say that's why. What and who are yet another alternatives for relative clauses, and they mean the people that or the thing that. Here we have two examples. I have a list of who's been invited, or when she finished, she didn't know what to do. We have also some other connecting words for relative clauses, for example, whatever. And it means anything, it doesn't matter what we refer to. I love whatever thing, whatever you decide to do this afternoon. Whichever is similar, it refers to one thing or person from a limited number of things or people. For example, whichever one of you didn't do homework will have to stay here during the break. Or, in the same way, whoever, the person or group who, or any person or group who. They are all very kind. Whoever comes will be welcome. So, relative clauses are very important in writing because they help us connect the ideas, the concepts, and the parts of the sentence correctly. And it's necessary to use the proper type of relative pronoun or word and the clause defining or non-defining depending on the meaning. And remember that relative clauses in English, as everything, have their own rules you must respect. I hope this was very useful. Here you have some links to the images you can find on this presentation. Thank you very much.